Alright, so the movie has been out for quite some time now, and we know that Sadie Sink is now Jean Grey. And personally, I think she's the fire Jean Grey, and she did her stuff in the movie, and she did it well. And dude, like, Brand New Day sets up the X-Men pretty good. And we've already seen like, small stepping stones of it in the past with, Miss Marvel.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes, like a mutation.
Whatever it is, it's just gonna be another label.
And what's funny about that scene is how she says, well, it's just another label, because it's basically, foreshadowing the oppression and the persecution that the X-Men are going to go through, and they're going to deal with that within the MCU. And we've already got a taste of that in Brand New Day. We see the Damage Control trying to test out, like, the source of the power that Jean has, and they're wondering why they can't really pinpoint how her powers work, and that's because it's all genetic. And they kind of did crack, her powers a little bit, because I believe they're using her sister's powers to learn more about Jean's powers. And the fact that, like, they developed, like, a weapon to practically, deal with Jean and, test her. And that really shows us how, like, humans, the Damage Control are willing to go through to get a person like Jean. Like, they are willing to kill another human being in order to, quote unquote, contain Jean. And speaking of humans, I love that they teased that part. And what I mean by that is when Spider-Man is video chatting Yelena in Ned's computer, he tells Yelena like everything about the chick, aka Jean, and he tells her like, try to find what the Damage Control are wanting with her. And I believe like in the movie she tried to find like some files around like Jean and all that stuff. I believe like they try to wipe like some of it, or I'm pretty sure they wiped a majority of all the files within regarding Jean and all that stuff. But I believe they left something behind like human rights and all that stuff, or they mentioned human rights. And basically, they were violating human rights. But like I said, they're already teasing the, the prosecution and the oppression that, the mutants are going to deal with. Because they didn't see her as a human. They just, decided to capture her and, test on her. And dude, like the fact that they tease, with the concept of human rights and how they think people like Jean and her sister are humans and will even kill them, it's great. Like, well, not great, but like, great for X-Men lore. But yeah, the fact that they're already tackling with that is so good to hear. Again, not, good to hear, but, it's good for the X-Men lore again. And man, the fact that in the movie, it said that Jean's mother kicked her out, like just being how she is now, it's just crazy to me, man. And I can't wait till all the crazy shit that they're going to do with the X-Men. And I'm calling it right now, people are going to call it woke, because the internet, or not the internet per se, but comic fans and people that are really tapped into the X-Men, they know that the X-Men is an allegory for racism, just oppression, only minority, and all that stuff. But with how the media is today, I know they're going to say something like, well, would you believe that, huh? The X-Men are woke. Why are they forcing us this woke agenda, and we just want to see Cyclops melt somebody with their eyes? Is that so hard to ask? And it's like, one, shut the fuck up. Two, the X-Men have always been woke since forever, since they were made. But yeah, I just know that they're going to say something along those lines for the X-Men when they're close to releasing it. And I know a lot of people are going to bring up the inhibitor chip, the universal inhibitor chip, but personally, I don't think they're going to bring that up again. I really don't. I really think that after Secret Wars, because like if they kept the inhibitor chip, I really think that that shit going to break the universe. The reason why I say that is because it not only works on mutants, but it works on other heroes as well, which, to be honest, I think is stupid. I'm pretty sure they're not going to bring it up after Secret Wars and all that stuff. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but personally, I don't think they're going to bring it up, because like I said, that shit too OP, bro. The fact that not only is it going to work on mutants, but it's also going to work on like other heroes. Yeah, dog. Nah, like that shit too OP. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll still bring it up, maybe they won't. Only time will tell. But yeah, are you guys hyped for the X-Men, and what do y'all think about Jean Grey? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.